The £52 million deal bringing Noni Madueke to Arsenal has sparked a firestorm of debate among the Gunners' faithful. Some fans are celebrating the much-needed attacking depth, others, not so much. There's even been a petition launched in protest. But amid all the noise and polarizing opinions, one thing must be said loud and clear. Madueke is exactly the kind of player Arsenal need right now, even if many aren't ready to admit it yet. Because replacing Bukayo Saka isn't something just anyone can do. Last season, Arsenal leaned far too heavily on their star winger. Only Declan Rice logged more minutes than Saka. And every time fatigue kicked in or a knock kept Saka sidelined, Mikel Arteta was forced to reshuffle. Trossard out wide, Martinelli switching flanks, or even young Ethan Nwaneri thrown into the deep end. Nothing ever truly clicked. No one had the instincts. No one had the explosiveness. That's where Madueke fits in. He's not here to replace Saka. He's here to protect him. A right winger with pace, flair, and that rare ability to beat defenders one-on-one, Madueke brings a dimension Arsenal simply don't have when Saka is off the pitch. Let's talk numbers. Last season, Madueke featured in 46 games for Chelsea, scoring 11 goals and adding 5 assists. Not mind-blowing, but consider the context. He had no settled role, was rotated constantly between flanks, and even left out of the squad at times due to discipline issues. And yet, he remained one of Chelsea's most dangerous players. Only Doku and Nido completed more take-ons per 90 in the Premier League. Every time the ball reached his feet, he looked ready to attack. That's exactly what Arsenal have been missing down the right. Yes, £52 million might sound steep, but you're not just paying for the present. You're investing in potential, in squad rotation, and in surviving a season that could stretch past 60 games. Arteta said it himself. We can't win the Premier League with just 13 players. So, if not Madueke, then who backs up Saka, Rice Nelson, Marquinhos? The idea alone feels shaky. Meanwhile, Madueke has played in the Champions League, scored in domestic cups, and survived the chaotic environment at Chelsea. This isn't a panic buy. It's a statement of intent. Arsenal are building depth the way Manchester City did, not by gambling on unknown talents from League One or the Eredivisie, but by securing young Premier League-proven English players with international pedigree. Madueke's played for the England U21s and has been called up by Gareth Southgate. That's no coincidence. Arsenal aren't waiting anymore. They're acting. Yes, fans may still be frustrated. Yes, some are dreaming of Victor Gyökeres. But Madueke isn't to blame for not being a striker. If there's frustration, it lies in the timing, not the talent. Remember when people doubted Aaron Ramsdale? Or even Declan Rice? Time proved Arteta right then, and it likely will again. Madueke isn't here to take Saka's place. He's here to make sure Saka still has legs come May. And sometimes the difference between title contenders and champions is having a plan B that's actually good enough. Now, does Madueke's arrival change anything about Arsenal's pursuit of Eberechi Eze? Absolutely not. Eze remains a top priority. To put it simply, Madueke is the answer for the right wing. Eze could reshape the spine of the entire team. These are two separate moves. According to Fabrizio Romano, Arsenal are still in active talks with Eze's representatives, looking to structure a deal that breaks up the release clause into manageable installments. And Eze? He's not just a number 10 who can rotate with Odegaard. He's a dynamic force who can drift left, play deeper, or break lines from the half space. At Palace, he didn't just shine, he carried them. He linked midfield to attack, dictated tempo, and delivered from set pieces. That kind of creativity is a rare commodity. Eze brings something different. Close control in tight areas, composure under pressure, and final third execution that exceeds Premier League standards. At 26, he's mature enough to handle Arteta's demands, but young enough to grow in a structured system. If this deal goes through, Arsenal could line up with two very different but equally effective playmakers. Odegaard, the space controller, Eze, the space exploiter. That's how you go from strong to unstoppable. And then there's the striker, Victor Gyökeres. Arsenal and Sporting Lisbon are still locked in negotiations, even though both sides and the player want the move. The hold-up? Structure. Arsenal have offered 65 million euros up front plus 15 million euros in add-ons. Sporting want 70 million euros guaranteed and 10 million euros more in bonuses. The player has already agreed personal terms. In fact, Gyökeres is reportedly willing to reduce his salary by 2 million euros just to get the deal done. Sporting, on their part, have now pulled him from preseason training, hoping to pressure Arsenal into accepting their terms. It's a high-stakes poker game. Arsenal need a striker. Sporting don't want to lose their 97-goal machine. Neither side wants to blink. Arsenal already sent representatives to Lisbon, but talks ended with no breakthrough. Now, with Leandro Trossard close to being sold for around 18 to 22 million pounds, the Gunners could free up wages and financial room to close the gap on Gyökeres or reinvest into other deals like Eze and Madueke. Either way, it's all hinging on Sporting's flexibility with the payment terms. If they budge, the deal could be wrapped up before Arsenal fly out for their preseason tour. If not, it might drag on. This isn't just about numbers, it's a test of ambition. If all goes to plan, Arsenal's summer window could end with 3 major signings. Gyökeres up front, Madueke out wide, and Eze through the middle. 3 pieces, 3 zones, no overlap, no wasted roles, just smart, targeted upgrades, months in the making by Arteta and sporting director Andrea Berta. And then there's Rodrigo, the wild card. For now, it's all about waiting. Waiting for Real Madrid's internal meeting. Waiting for Rodrigo to make a decision. Real aren't pushing him out, but if the player wants a new challenge and a fair bid comes in, they'll listen. Rodrigo is still torn. Fight for minutes alongside Mbappe and Vinicius Jr., or become the centerpiece of a new project. Arsenal, meanwhile, aren't prioritizing the deal, but they are watching. His wages could be a challenge, rumored to be in the 250,000 to 300,000 pounds per week range. But if Rodrigo's willing to make a sacrifice in exchange for guaranteed game time, Arsenal will act fast. This wouldn't cancel out any of the other deals. Rodrigo wouldn't replace Eze or Gyökeres. He'd replace the surplus. Players like Trossard or even Martinelli could be moved to make room for a true game changer. If Rodrigo says yes, Arsenal could pull off one of the coups of the summer. If he doesn't, they've still got a reloaded squad, better than last season, and ready for war. Right now, it's just a matter of time.